Community in crisis.
He was an incredible father, an incredible spouse, an incredible neighbor.
As officers identify all the mass shooting victims and the man they believe killed them, seeking justice for George Floyd.
Juror 118, you will serve on our jury.
All 15 jurors now seated for the trial of Derek Chauvin and Shark Strike.
That this could have been so much worse, and it very easily could have cost me my life.
A college student in South Florida survives a big bite. It's all coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Zitlali Solache, and today is Wednesday, March 24th, 2021.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Denny Strong, 20 years old. Nevin Studinsky, 23. Ricky Obbs, 25.
One by one, names announced for the victims of Boulder, Colorado's mass shooting. The suspect has his first court appearance tomorrow as the community mourns and waits for answers. Reporter Camila Bernal from our news partner CNN is in Boulder, Colorado this morning.
Many here in Boulder just wanting the focus to remain on the victims. Among those victims, 3 grocery store employees, 2 recent high school graduates, a soon-to-be grandfather, a police officer doing his job. And now their names are written here in crosses behind me. This is a makeshift memorial that is becoming all too familiar in America.
She's giggly and bubbly and just you couldn't be sad around her.
Friends and family remembering the victims of the mass shooting in Boulder, Colorado.
He's my best friend. He's a brother to me.
10 lives cut tragically short on Monday.
She was a person who, all of her life really, she was about doing service, helping others.
Kevin was incredible. He was an incredible father, an incredible spouse, an incredible neighbor. He was just a wonderful, wonderful man who didn't deserve this at all.
The suspect, a 21-year-old man from nearby Arvada, is now facing 10 counts of murder in the first degree and 1 count of attempted murder. Authorities promising the grieving community that justice will be served. And now, with the country in the middle of its 7th mass shooting in the past week alone, President Joe Biden has once again called for an assault weapons ban and a wave of new gun control measures.
I don't need to wait another minute, let alone an hour, to take common sense steps that will save the lives in the future. And it should not be a partisan issue. This is an American issue. We should also ban assault weapons in the process.
And we know that the shooter was carrying 2 semi-automatic weapons, one of them purchased just days before the shooting. We also spoke to the brother of the shooter, who said his brother was suffering from a mental illness. He specifically said that the shooter, was feeling like he was being chased, like he was being followed, and became increasingly paranoid. He is now facing 10 counts of first-degree murder, and authorities here say they will do everything they can to achieve justice for those victims. Reporting in Boulder, Colorado, I'm Camila Bernal. Back to you.
The trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin will move to opening statements on Monday morning, now that 15 jurors have been selected for the trial.
Can you set aside everything that you may have heard beforehand and focus exclusively on the evidence as it's presented in court?
Yes. Juror 118, you will serve on our jury. We have 15.
The jury for the trial will consist of 6 men and 9 women. 9 self-identify as white, 4 as black, and 2 as mixed race. It is likely to take center stage as the trial moves forward. Many say they are fearful of what the repeat of last summer, when a video of Chauvin kneeling on George Floyd's neck for nearly 8 minutes sparked protest worldwide. No longer a royal member, Prince Harry takes on a new role at a tech company in San Francisco called BetterUp. He is Chief Impact Officer, and Prince Harry shared with the Wall Street Journal that the position means making an impact in people's lives through proactive coaching. BetterUp Markets provide mentoring and mental health services to clients using artificial intelligence and behavioral science. A college student shares his close encounter with a shark at a South Florida beach. That's still ahead, and so is this story.
There was a hole opening behind that ledge, and so my wallet had fallen down.
A gym renovation unearthed a wallet that had been missing for more than 70 years. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and...
I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars. Really tall. I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Rushed to rescue a surfer in South Florida who was bitten by a shark. The college student's day at South Florida Beach ended in the hospital. As the network's Gretel Sanchez reports, he was afraid that he might lose his arm.
Without panic at the beach, 20-year-old Bryce Albert from Naples, a sophomore at Auburn University, shows the wounds and his concern after he got a shark bite on his left arm last Thursday at Juno Beach.
I pulled my arm up, and I quickly could see all the blood and my muscles and bubbling over my skin.
Albert says he and 3 friends were about 25 yards from shore at about 3:30 in the afternoon when he felt something hit his left arm. Albert says the water was very choppy and about 4.5 to 5 feet deep, so he said he never saw the shark. He describes that while keeping calm, he quickly went to the lifeguard station where they wrapped his arm to stop the bleeding. Then a friend took him to St. Mary Medical Center in West Palm Beach.
I was in a lot of pain, but luckily I was able to stay calm enough to make it to the hospital. I knew if I wanted to at least try and preserve my arm, which I did, I'd have to stay calm.
He says doctors told him that based on the size of the wound, the shark that bit him was probably a black tip about 6 feet long. Albert has about 100 stitches in his arm, but he says he's grateful things were no worse and hope his story inspires others to realize that life is precious.
Waters off the coast of the state saw 16 unprovoked shark attacks last year, the highest in the nation. Albert says that doctors told him he will have full use of his left arm. In Palm Beach County, Gretel Sanchez, South Florida Media Network.
Missing items are never really lost. An 85-year-old woman who lost her wallet at school back in the 1950s was able to recover it. A $19 million renovation of a middle school gym near Virginia Beach, Virginia, led to the discovery of the piece of history by a contractor. Inside the wallet, owner Esther French's items were intact.
There was a ledge there that I had laid my wallet on, and when I went to get it, it wasn't there, but there was a hole opening behind that ledge, and so my wallet had fallen down.
Esther says she lost it when she was either 16 or 17. Now she reminisces on pages from the past. That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Zitlali Solache. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.